there's a proposal to build a new parallel runway.
And for us, it will have devastating effects on our community. Portmarnock is a magnificent area, a beautifully scenic area. It has one of the finest beaches in the country. It's called the Velvet Strand.
At 380 or 385,000 overflights per annum, you're talking about an overflight every 90 seconds.
But people in Malahide, for example, will be getting what we're now getting. And South Swords is the same thing. St Margaret's, of course, is being devastated.
If Portmarnock had not been built, then effectively they couldn't build Portmarnock now. Then why, tell me, does it make sense to build the runway over an existing community when you don't need it?
2 new terminals and a new runway at Dublin Airport. They're building a second airport at Dublin Airport.
When you come home after a day's work, you just want peace and quiet, go out for a walk, and to feel that you're in a place that is pleasant.
It's a small little garden, but it's where I go for a bit of peace. And I couldn't bear really if that changed, you know.
Looking forward to a long and healthy retirement. And that quality of life is very much threatened by the development of a second runway at Dublin Airport.
Even the garden, I often think of the Irish poem, Tí Chais, Lynn Fún Matan a Gay on Viller a Gay Varishku. You can't hear the birds singing, you can't hear the church bells ringing anymore.
The last 2 census, maybe not the last one, but the previous 2 census put Portmarnock as the highest family occupancy area in Ireland.
I think young children are very, very prone to any sort of environmental damage.
There are 3 schools in Portmarnock, 2 primary schools and a secondary school, all who are going to be affected by this.
We have 2 of the largest community schools in the country, and there could be up to 10,000 students affected by this actual flight path.
We know children in school are in a chronic disadvantaged learning environment. Now, as you know, communication is so important at that age. They will be drowned out by 80, 90 decibels of aircraft flying over them.
The World Health Authority said that it has a serious effect. The noise from aircraft has a serious effect on education.
It doesn't make sense in this environmentally conscious and aware day to actually put a flight path over a family occupied area.
People often wonder, what are we complaining about with aircraft noise? And they only hear one every now and then.
They already make a ferocious amount of noise. That's the normal noise. That's what we're used to.
If you really want to experience it, go sit in the village or go stand in Fingal Cemetery, where, now I've been at 2 funerals there, and it's very, you expect people to get up out of a coffin and object because the prayers that are being said for the dead literally are drowned out.
The night flights are a particular agony.
That I can look at my clock and dead, and at 4:45 you get the same plane going out, and it'll waken nearly most people down here in the village.
I find the night flights that I am continually waking during the night.
At the moment, there's an average of 750 to 800 night flights per month. A curfew for a city airport, which this is, to my mind, is not an unreasonable request.
We will be actually in a chronic noise corridor. Noise levels that we have monitored independently will reach anything between 675 and 90 decibels.
Dublin Airport Authority are looking to, over the years, increase the passenger numbers by 30, 40 million, and that would introduce 85,000 extra passengers per day onto the road network.
And we don't have the infrastructure, really, you don't have the infrastructure around that airport to handle that sort of volume. The infrastructure at the moment is well groaning under the weight.
Already the M50 cannot cope with the traffic that's going on.
That you should not push all of your actual traffic and congestion into one part of the city.
Apart from the noise, we're really concerned about this, about the air we breathe. We're entitled to breathe clean air.
The toxic emissions, carcinogenic emissions coming from aircraft can have a serious impact on the community living under it.
But yeah, I think the impact on our environment is being largely ignored. That's 1 million aircraft engines, with 45 to 60 million passengers, somewhere around 22 to 26 million internal combustion engines circulating around the airport with car traffic, lorries, people moving in and out of the airport.
It's just not sustainable, and we just can't cope with it.
If this new runway gets permission, we will actually be in an aircraft crash zone.
Like every 3 or 4 minutes there's something flying past you there. And you just dread to think what might happen if somebody makes a mistake.
Most of the aircraft accidents happen within 1 minute of takeoff, 2 minutes take, or within landing, as the planes are coming in or as they're going out.
Now, we all know that Dublin Airport is vital to the national economy, and it's vital to North County Dublin as well. And we're not saying that should change in any way.
Individuals have rights and communities have rights, and they can only be overridden if what is proposed is demonstrably in the national interest. And
Planning on data and decisions made 30 years ago is crazy.
they did not do a proper assessment. The Dublin Airport authorities even admitted that they did not undertake a cost-benefit analysis. They didn't believe it was required. But do the sums. That's our attitude. Make the decision on a rational basis. You find that on balance between all the costs and all the benefits, we end up losing 4.5 billion euros.